still January 14th. So a couple things. July 28, 2020 is the date of the video that she created or posted. I wasn't even on my journey then. I was still that was the week that I first saw the tarot reading that put the mirror up for me as to how I was living my life, where I remember it saying something like, you know, it was Allie's tarot, and she said something along the lines of like that I'm trying to make myself happy in a situation where I'm not, and then she gave an example. The example was like, oh my gosh, it's like she's like, there was just this awareness of like, she's calling out my BS basically. And so so that was the week that it was the week before that that I had that awareness, and that was the first like you know, it's like when you pull out that last little, what is that, Jenga thing, and then everything starts falling off. That's the feeling that it was, because I remember that whole week I was crying. But anyways, why am I bringing this? Bring it back at me. I'm rewatching her video on dream meanings, specifically the prescient ones. She says that the purpose of them is for course correction. Course correction. So I'm like, okay, course correction. Well, and then she gives an example of like a guy that she was helping out, and how he needed to course correct his life because he kept dreaming that he was gonna crash or something like that. I'm like, well my dream, it wasn't so dramatic like that. I mean, it was emotionally dramatic, but it was more of like, it was everything that I wanted. How is that course correcting? How is that? Because she says, she's like, it's a possible outcome, right? It's a possible, everything's a possible outcome. I know that. And the only thing I can think of in terms of course correcting for me was the fact that I was going to start dating. Not purposefully, like I was going to be open to the idea of dating. And so the only thing I can think of was the course correction of like to not date, because it clearly triggered emotions in the way that the dream presented itself. The feeling of like, this is what I want, this is what I want, and this time I was shown what I wanted unfolding, and so it deterred me, right, from being open to dating and kind of being like, nope, like this is what I always wanted, this is what I'm being shown, this is what I still want, right? But she's saying that it's based on the present moment. So I don't want to overthink it. So I thought that was interesting, that this slight difference, I guess, maybe. I mean, it was still a course correction, but it wasn't so dramatic, like, where it's like, no, don't go this way. It was more loving for me, like, you know. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out and really highlight the slight difference for me personally. Yeah, but okay, I think that was it. All right, bye. It's still January 14th. I'll probably group this one with the other one. But just still sitting with that, the way Christina Lopes talks about prescient dreams. being a corrective, requiring a corrective response. Because then I haven't, oh gosh, I've only prepared videos up until the end of the month, so that's really only 2 more weeks. And I knew in the back of my head, I'm like, I need to start preparing the next month. And I don't remember a lot. I mean, I remember the clearing one. And I remember my sister-in-law, when I shared it with her, she kind of tried to keep tying it back to me, but I'm like, it didn't feel like it was me. It didn't feel like it was something that I had to do differently. That's the thing, like it didn't feel like it was about me. Like I'm able to pick up on the ones that are about me. And I remember that was one of the big dreams that I had first, that it didn't feel like it was about me. It felt like it was about other people, and that I could feel their fear. Like there was a distinction, right? I'm trying to think of the other, I don't remember. There's so many other dreams. The one where I'm wet, that I had gotten out of the high school swimming pool, and I'm with the administrators, and there's a bunch of other students waiting to get into, there's this feeling that they're waiting and they're in line to get into the pool, and I'm supposed to help them out of the pool. Like I'm supposed to like help them because I was wet, so it's like this, I had the feeling I went through it and I'm helping them through it. Did that require course correction, or was that more of a like, this is your path, this is your like a guidance one, maybe? Because that one, it didn't, the scene after that one was where I was laying down watching a movie with, and I was in high school, this feeling that I was in high school. And the boy was giving me like, this is what I can offer you. And there was that feeling of like, I'm not, I there was that torn feeling of like, I don't want to settle, but this is what he's offering, right? But again, it had nothing to do with me because I didn't have anybody next to me that was offering me, you know, peanuts. And that's when I had the realization, this isn't about me, this is for other people. So is it course correction for other people? Course correction for other people. What was another big dream that I had? Where there was like a lot of people. Gosh. Because even the other dreams, like the one with the foster children, or like I remember there were other dreams where I'm just helping people. Is that more my future, my potential future? But it didn't feel like there was a course correction that was needed, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. It didn't feel like, it was just kind of like highlighting like possible future. So maybe they're not all for the, so were those considered guidance dreams? But those are different. Like the thing is that the feeling is different when I have those types of dreams. The prescient dream, like the one last night, where there was this, that we were having to put people, secure people, feeling of like having to secure them, put them somewhere safe, but I couldn't go with them, and I was part of the team that had to stay behind, and my family was worried, and they just needed reassurance, and there was just this feeling like I just need to provide them with reassurance, even though I didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I'm assuming that's a prescient dream. Because it didn't, but then again, because I watched You've Got Mail, I couldn't distinguish it like the other ones, because even the guidance dreams are different. Like those, like I know those, but like the business one and the going to school one a couple nights ago, that one felt more like hey, this is what you need to focus on, and don't worry about this. And it was similar to that other dream, the guidance dream of when I realized I had to expose myself to high school girls, that exposure of the high school, that I had to speak my truth with high school girls, and that's how I ended up applying to this like that felt more like a guidance, like this is what you need to do next. And then I woke up, I'm like, how do I do that? How do I do that? But these other ones that just kind of seem really like far away, how would those be course correction? Like it feels like it's bigger than me. It feels like it feels like it's just bigger than me. And then even thinking like about my bee, I had a dream about her. And that I could see as a course correction for her, because I remember even hers, she was in a fetal position, and she was crying, and I was holding her, trying to soothe her. And I remember something was up with her. I'd have to go back and look at that dream, but something was up with her feet. I don't know if her feet were burned or something like that. And then I remember seeing two, like that's so interesting. I remember seeing two two paths where she was driving her car. She was like driving her car into the water, purposefully into the water. That was one scene. And then I immediately saw another, like a repeat of the scene, but it was slightly different. And the difference was that she had her baby in the car. And I want to say I might have been in the car with her. Or I remember there was an element where I needed to like try to get them out or try to save the babe or something like that. Because I remember the two different viewpoints. One, I'm with her daughter, and I'm watching her go into the water, drive the car into the water. The second one, the little one's in the car with her, and I don't remember. I'd have to go back and look and see if I was in the car with them. And I remember being tripped out about that one. Because I'm like, wait, there's two versions. There's two versions. I remember thinking that when I woke up, I'm like, there's two versions? So that is course correction for her. I can see that. And then there were other ones that I was with my family. Gosh, I'd have to go back and look. So that am I able to pick? So that I'm thinking, tarot readers pick up on energy. It's potential energy. And when they do their tarot spread, it's a potential storyline for some, and then for others, it's actually unfolding depending on which cycle you're in. That could be the unfolding of the event in that moment for some, and or it already happened for some in the past, right? And it's just validation. But the ones that it's potential future, gosh, I'm thinking this. Why would I get? It's not a personal course correction. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than me. For other people, at least, with like the example with my bee, but I don't know. I guess as I do the other videos, I'll see if it triggers other memories or other emotions of when I had the dream. Okay. I'll just sit with it. It's just something to make a note of as the puzzle pieces keep unfolding, I guess. Yeah, that's all I can do, right? It's like, okay, it's a little bit, just bite-sized pieces. Just bite-sized pieces. Don't freak out. Just bite-sized pieces. Bite-sized pieces. Just bite-sized pieces, right? Just bite-sized pieces. I'll know more as the days go on. But okay, I need to finish some notes. I just want to record that awareness of like, oh dang, if they're course corrections, it didn't feel like they were all for me. The big dreams. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hi, my name is Yubi, and in case you haven't figured it out, this footage is capturing my experience as I learned to navigate my personal spiritual awakening. I am learning that this experience is unique to each one of us. In whatever way we believe we are embracing living our truth, this just happens to be my journey. And despite me having a graduate degree and a license in clinical social work, this by no means is intended to replace any type of mental health advice. This is just me on a personal level, documenting my experience, shedding light on the truth that I am learning and discovering for myself, and really inviting you along for the ride. If by some magical chance you find this content to be helpful in any way, shape, or form, please click the like button, share the message, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have an Instagram account, a personal one, and one specifically for this channel that you're more than welcome to check out. I'm an open book. I have also created t-shirt designs. I'm wearing my favorite one right now, which is the North Node design, but I have that and other things that you can look at inspired by this process and journey, and I have the link in the description box as well as in the about section of my YouTube channel. So you're more than welcome to check those items out. Any type of support is great. Again, if you find this content really helpful or meaningful, sometimes when we take that step and be vulnerable, with showing what's inside our hearts and what's really our truth, we realize that we're much more connected than what we thought we were. And so I hope that as I'm living this experience and that you find some type of truth for yourself, or find some type of ability to heal in some way just by relating, just by knowing that you're not alone. That really has been my goal with this process, not just being able to connect with others, but really for my own healing. It's definitely been a therapeutic experience and a very creative one for myself. So I thank you,